Yes, Duke. Let me give you the right. So you'll be reading what is in the chat if it is part of the lesson, and then picking on those who raise their hands. So today we are going to look at functional writing. We are going to have a discussion. I've not chosen any particular one, but we know that functional writing is compulsory. It is compulsory now in paper 1. Okay. So I believe that by now in senior 4, we have gone a step. We have looked at some of the functional writing skills. If not all, then some. So I have a list here. Can we have someone to go through the list of functional writing skills? And then we shall agree, or you'll ask questions where you need the clarity from any. Duke, do we have any hand up? Someone who wants to take us through the list of functional writing?
No hands so far. Your pictures.
Functional writing skills is letter writing, informal and formal reports, speech writing, curriculum vitae, minute writing, dialogue, telephone conversation, book review, giving directions, writing instructions, recipe, articles, and autobiography.
Thank you, Peaches. But Peaches, last time you attended the lesson, but I did not see your work. Are you too busy at home? Can we have another one to complete the list? Do you anyone?
Yes, David.
Continuing biography, advertisements, announcements, memo, writing statements, shopping list, diaries or personal journals, filling in forms, sports commentary, and writing a will.
Okay, thank you, David. So among these functional writing skills, which one can we look at? Which one do you need clarity? Which one do you write in the chat so that we can be able to go one by one? Whoever has an issue, you should do. Because we are going to discuss. People will be telling us what they know about that particular functional writing that someone wants to know about. Duke, do we have any in the chat?
Nothing so far.
Okay. Or some people can't write. Because I've read your apology. It is okay. Please, people,
Innocent says articles, Kaka says autobiography, Barbara says autobiography.
first, Duke, what is the first one?
Autobiography thing.
Autobiography, and then?
Articles, but most of the responses are on autobiography.
Autobiography. Anyone with an idea what an autobiography is? We can take it from unknown. So those ones who want to know what an autobiography is, you should be writing in your books. Writing an autobiography, because we are going to go through that. It is the first thing we are going to do. Is that clear?
Also,
Are we
David
together?
requests for Matt for minute writing.
Minutes. Okay, let
Yeah.
us look at the autobiography, then we shall go through minutes. How the format of writing minutes. So who has an idea what an autobiography is? Do you have any hands there in David? Duke?
Not yet.
All of you don't know what an autobiography is? Okay, if we are to define it, an autobiography means history of a person's life written or told by that person. So the autobiography tells what that person's life is all about. Are we together?
Yes.
So like I can sit and then write about myself. Maybe from my childhood till death. Whatever I remember about myself, whatever I want to say about myself. So that is what we call an autobiography. Are we together?
Yes.
Okay. Duke, is there a hand that has been raised?
Yeah, David has a hand.
Yes, David?
Teacher, I have a question. You said, for example, you write about your history from childhood up to date. Is it a must if a person is to write an autobiography? It has to be exactly from birth up to date, or they can start from any point in their lives?
You can start from any point. It's not, I was giving an example, like if I'm to write, I begin from childhood. But you can begin from any point, any stage of your life. You can begin from your career, since you started working, since you started going to school. It is not a must that you begin from your childhood.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. So now the format, the things that you must consider when you're writing an autobiography. First is the title. You're going to begin with the title. Hello. Sorry
Yes.
about that. I think had gone off a bit. So the autobiography, you're talking about yourself. And of course, it is first person. You're going to use the first person, the I, because it is referring to you. You're talking about yourself. And of course, you're going to use the past tense. So you must have a title like any other functional writing skill. Every functional writing skill, I believe, has a title. So of course, the letters have addresses. So the introduction, this one covers your background. The background information on your life, such as your name, when and where you were born, where you live, what you do, and in terms of profession, who you live with, and you can tell us whether you have ever won an award. So the first is the title, second is the introduction. So in the intro, you're not going to write there the word introduction, but you just make a paragraph after the title, and then you talk about yourself. Your name, when and when you were born, where you live, what you do, whom you live with, who you live with, whether or not you have won an award or not. Then that's the third one. Number 3 should be your views about life. So in this paragraph, you're going to state how you see life, where your friends are, who you admire most and why, your views of school, you know, life, your hobbies, and all that's you, your likes about life. Generally, it's about life, the second paragraph that you're going to write. So in this paragraph, you give your opinion, and then you back it up by your experiences in life. Are we together?
Yes.
Okay. Then the fourth thing to do is views of the future. In your next paragraph, you're going to talk about what you think the future will be like, your ambition in life, and your plans. That is what you do in this paragraph. So you talk about the kind of life you would like to lead. Of course, when you talk about the future, and then your ambition in life, and then your plans, definitely you have to talk about the kind of life that you want to lead. So I wanted to differentiate between the two. We have an autobiography, then we have also a biography. Those two are different. Biography is an account of someone's life story written by another person. So if I decide to say, let me now write about Peaches, that is a biography. But an autobiography, it is you who writes it, it is you who owns it. So that is all I can say about an autobiography. Can we now move to the next? Duke, what was the next?
Articles.
Articles, we have newspaper articles. I'm sure you have written articles in your life, maybe for a magazine. Those are the articles I'm talking about. It can be for a magazine, it can be a newspaper article, but it depends which kind of article you are writing. Some articles that we write are to persuade maybe the reader. There are those ones that are written to inform. And so you've got to know which one. So we have those print and electronic publications like newspapers, magazines, and journals. So when you're writing an article, you need to know the 5 W's and 1 H. The what, when, why, where, who, and how. Those are the guidelines in case you're writing an article. It is important that you know those W's. So your article definitely must have a title. It must have the name of the writer. Then after the name of the writer, the introduction. The introduction introduces us to what you want to say. Then after the introduction, we have the body. The body has facts from you and research. If you're good at reading newspapers, then those are the articles that I'm talking about. You see that there is a heading, and then there is the name of the writer. And then someone writes, first introduces, writes an introduction, and then the body. I've said when you're writing the body, you must have facts from you and Eva, please mute. So, and also research. If you have researched something, then you have to put it in your article. Depends on what you're writing about. So that is about articles. You only need the title of your article, the name, then the introduction, that is the first paragraph, and then the body. Your body might have 2 or 3 paragraphs, depending on what you're talking about. It's okay, Eva. What else do we have? Someone wanted the format of the minutes. I don't know what exactly you wanted.
I wanted to know how exactly do you write minutes, like its actual format.
Can we have people here to?
I'm also inquiring how to like write the title of the, like writing the minutes there, write small minute 1 stroke such. I want to know how they write it.
Okay. Are you seeing my screen?
Yes,
Do you
teacher.
see my screen?
Yes,
Do you see
teacher.
what I'm typing?
Yes, teacher.
Do you see what I'm typing?
Yes.
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 Okay. Like that. That is minute 1. Then you can say opening prayer. Are we there?
Yes.
That is the format. Now one names the minutes, then 5 is the month. I've put May because we are in May. So that 5 represents the month. Then the year 2023. So after the opening prayer, when you have written who has said the prayer, then you want to go to minute 2, you write minutes 2 stroke 5 stroke 2023. What should that one be? What should the second minute be?
Communication from the chairperson.
Communication from the chairperson. Okay, this can't move, but it will be below here. It will be below here. Since I'm not using Word, I can't move it now, but it has to be below here. Have you seen where I put the slash?
Yes, teacher.
So it has to be below and not that the side. So chairperson comes below communication, below the word communication. But of course, I believe that in your books, that word fits very well, the word chairperson. Is there any other?
There wasn't any other mentioned.
No other question about minute writing. Okay, which functional writing skill can we through?
See, I'm
Recover her hand.
asking,
Yes, please.
like, is it a must to sign after writing minutes?
No. Writing as the signing the minutes must be approved when they are ready in the next meeting. So since it is not, you're just writing the minutes, then you should not sign them. Just indicate on the left, that is the side of the secretary. So you put the word signed, then you leave space there, you put the name, your name in capital letters, then you put secretary.
Recover had the hand.
Yes, teacher. I want to know, how do you know it could have been the first meeting or second or third? Because I saw you writing minute 1, the year and the month. But for me, I knew you would write maybe minute 1 of the first meeting and then the year.
Now, writing minutes. We do not dwell so much on that. You must have 1 minute, the second time or the third. It doesn't matter. We want to know, you know the order of writing minutes. Of course, if you're meeting for the first time, maybe it is the debate club meeting for the first time. We know that you're going to talk about membership, so you should include that in your agenda. You're going maybe to elect the leaders for the debate the club, the executive. But if it is the third meeting, that's the third time you're meeting, we expect you to have, if it is the first time, you'll not have minutes of the previous meeting in your agenda. But if you're meeting for the second time or third, then we expect you to have a minutes of the previous meeting in your agenda. So the numbering does not matter. You're not going to tell us that now you have asked me to write minutes, but we are meeting for the 40th time. So this is now minute 4. Then you begin a 4 stroke what? No. You have to begin, the format that I've given you is what you have to go with. That is the most important. Are we together?
Yes, ma'am.
You
Thank
just
you.
put the month, and if the question is specific and has the month, then you have to do what? You have to indicate that month in the question. Any other question about minutes writing?
Barbara was saying that talk about a book review.
A book review, okay. Thank you. Now, a book review, I don't know how many of you have read books, novels. And which kind of novels have you read? Have you all read novels?
Yeah.
Which kind of novel? Literature novels?
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
So now with a book review, if you're told to write a book review, I actually pray that that number never comes about book review because not everyone has read. You people who are here, you're lucky that you have read a novel or a play. But there are those people out there who have never read anything, who have never read any book, not even a page of a novel. The only books they know, they are the ones that they use in the classroom. They are not books. So a book review is a kind of literary evaluation or criticism of a published textbook. So you, the reader, when these writers write their books, they normally send to some people who critique them. Those people write an evaluation about that book or what they criticize in that book. So that is what a book review. So when we are doing a book review, when you're writing a book review, first of all, you must write the title, the author, the publisher of the book. How many people have read books? You've said you've ever read a novel. Who is the publisher of the novel that you have ever read? Or the publisher of the book that you have ever read? Do you know the publisher? Because those are the first things. So you're going to write your title, a book review. And then after you write title, you give the title, maybe English for secondary schools, book 4. Then after the title, you have author. Author, who is the author of that book? You put it there. Maybe Uganda Institute of Education. Who is the publisher? The publisher might be also Uganda Institute of Education. Then you put the extent. Extent, that is how many pages of that book. So extent, you write the number of pages in that book. Then you put the year of publication. When was this book published? Then you put reviewed by, you put your name, you who is writing the book review. You are now the reviewer, so you put reviewed by, you put your name. So you start commenting about the book. You write about that particular book. In that particular book, you will tell us what is there. You will mention, if it is a novel, maybe you mention some of the characters. Or you would say, the first paragraph, you tell us about the plot. If you're reviewing a novel, for example, your title after reviewer, it will be plot. You put plot, then you tell us the storyline kicks off as the students are watching a play written by one of their classmates, so and so. Then you start telling us what is happening. Maybe Rachel and Procy are standing under over the influence of drugs. And then we are later introduced to the origin of the school. Then this one's family, you give a summary, the plot. Then after, you put characterization. If you're reviewing a novel, but if you're not reviewing a novel, definitely you're not going to have these headlines. So if it is a novel, you have characterization. You tell us about those guys, Rachel is hooked up to drugs and is portrayed as an irresponsible youth. Then she ends up in trouble when this and this happens. And then you pick on another person. But mainly you're talking about the main characters. the main character or characters. You're not going to talk about everyone in the text. And then the next will be themes. You tell us the novel focuses on the contemporary issues such as maybe peer pressure and then drug abuse among the youth. It depends on the text that you are reviewing. Are we clear? So after the themes, you're going to talk about the weaknesses. So which weaknesses have you realized in that very novel that you have read? Maybe the weaknesses are in the plot. You tell us what is there, what would have happened, and what was left out. Maybe it is about language and style. Maybe the English is too complicated, or the English needs to be improved. You know, the misuse of tenses, it's a poor sentence structure and all that. You give the weaknesses. Then the last one will be the conclusion. You have the word conclusion, and then you conclude. Then you give the general view is that the story makes some, compulsive reading, and then you comprehend, and then you see it would help them in their school life. How is this book that you're reading help students? How is it going to help people who read it? Then you say, I would recommend the novel as suitable for intended readership if the weaknesses can be corrected. We recommend. Or if you don't recommend it, you also say, I do not recommend this text to be. No, it should not be given to people to read. So that is the book review. The book review must have read the novel, because if they tell you that write a book review of any novel or any book that you have read in your life, that is the format. Are we together?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Which other one are we going to talk about? Yes, Makova.
So for me, I was inquiring on how to write a debate speech and even how do I write its title.
A debate speech. A debate speech is just like any other. And the title depends on a number of things. Are you for or against? Are you a proposer or an opposer? So you write a debate speech against or on. If you are an opposer, you say against. If you are a proposer, you say for. A debate speech for. Are you hearing me?
Yes. I'm going to write no.
So the title, remember that every title must be in capital letters and not underlined. So a debate speech and the motion, money is the root cause of all evil. So you're going to put that motion in quotes. Money is the root cause of all evil. You put that one in quotes, but it's part of the title. Are we together?
Yes.
You people, we are looking at a debate speech. So those ones who don't know the format, please get it. So the title should be a debate speech on. That word, the debate speech, must appear in your title. A debate speech on the motion, money is the root cause of all evil. So if you're the proposer, you use for. A debate speech for the motion. If you're an opposer, you say a debate speech against. If you're either, you say a debate speech on. I hope you have got that. So the British
Pardon, is
parliamentary, pardon?
that thing for either, I've not got the either thing.
When you put on, if the question is not specific, if the question says write a debate speech on,
Yes.
that one, it means that you're the one to choose the sides. But if it says that write a debate speech for, it means that you're going to propose. If they say write a debate speech against the motion, money is the root cause of all evil, then that means that you're going to oppose. Is that clear?
Yes.
No? You have written for is for proposer, against is for opposer, then on either. You either are going to propose or oppose. So the protocol for you first recognize protocol, and how do we do this? The British parliamentary style, you're going to say the chairperson, you begin with the chairperson, comma, the honorable proposers, the honorable opposers, secretary, timekeeper, and the audience. Good afternoon. Are we together? That is
Teacher,
the first paragraph.
Excuse me, teacher.
Yes, please.
That means in that when you're observing the protocol, we won't have to bring in like at last, ladies and gentlemen. So we leave out that.
Leave it out. You just write what I've given you. The chairperson, honorable proposers, honorable opposers, secretary, timekeeper, and the audience. Then you put a full stop, then you greet them. After greeting, you go to the next paragraph. That is now the first one of protocol. Then the second paragraph, you're introducing yourself. My name is Namsoke Rita. I am here to propose the motion that states money is the root cause of all evil. Do you see that? Or you say, I am here to oppose. In your second paragraph, you must introduce yourself and take sides. You must take sides. Are you proposing or opposing? So that people know. Now, if you're the first speaker, on any side, on either side, whether proposer or poser. You must define the keywords in the motion. If you're the first speaker, you define the keywords in the of the motion and give the general interpretation of the motion. So you present the motion, you explain. Now that is the body. The body, explain and give relevant illustrations or examples. Are we together?
Yes.
So far, so good. So then after the body, yes, please.
Excuse me, teacher. If
Yes.
I am now on the either part, I was not told to specify. So that means I can also take any side.
Yes. If it is on, if
Oh.
the question says on, you can take any side.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. So as you're presenting this body, do not use words like first, second. Avoid using them. Avoid even saying, because of my following views. You should not use such a statement when you're writing your debate speech, but at least give 4 points. Each point should be in its own paragraph. Then you go to the conclusion. Conclusion, you end the way you started. Thank you, Chairperson, honorable proposers, honorable opposers, secretary, timekeeper, and the audience. So that is the debate speech. You begin the way you started. Are we together?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Duke. Which other functional writing have they written in the?
They're talking about dialogues, giving direction.
A dialogue?
And
What
giving
is a
direction.
dialogue? What is a dialogue? Can someone take us through the meaning of a dialogue and how it is written? Because I know most of you have done these functional writing skills. It's not something new. Any hand up? Yes, Duke.
Okay, Mikova can talk.
Nikova?
Thank you, ma'am. So for me, the only thing I know about a dialogue is that it's just a conversation between only two people.
How do we write it?
Like, how do we write? So I think we begin by greeting, or maybe if the first person is going to greet, and then the second reply, and then I think the third statement is going to hit the view of the conversation. That's all I know about it.
So it is a conversation between two people. And of course, we begin with a title. We begin with a title. Then we must have two people who are talking. So you're going to write, if it is a conversation between a doctor and a patient, a doctor and a patient, who begins that conversation? You have gone to hospital and you're sick. Who is going to begin that dialogue?
The patient, the doctor.
We have to answer. Someone says the doctor, another and the patient. How is it going to begin? Okay, if it's the doctor, what would the doctor say? Yes, Williams.
The doctor will ask the patient what is happening, what is going on, then the patient will reply. But again, the patient can start, because if we are starting a dialogue, the patient will greet the doctor, obviously. So the patient will be the first, I think.
Mhm. So anyone who can begin. It has no formula that the other one is the one to start the conversation. It depends on
think
the situation. If you have
I
gone
think
to hospital, definitely, maybe you're suffering from a tooth and you enter the dentist's room. Who's going to begin talking?
you will begin talking.
Excuse me, dentist. I have a problem with my tooth. Or you say good morning.
You will
Dentist.
say, "Good morning, sir."
Hmm.
Then he will
Then he
reply,
will reply and say, how can I help you?
yes. Then you will continue and say, "I have a problem with my tooth. It has a hole, it has a cavity." Then you
Yes,
will say the rest.
definitely. Thank you so much. So there are some linking words that are commonly used. Those linking words that are commonly used in dialogues. Those are the ones I want to give you. You can use words like anyway. As I was saying, what I mean to say is, so what happened? Then what? Winnie. Okay. So we have then what? So, well, you mean to say, all right then, okay then, actually, so those are some of the what? Do you still see my screen?
Partially.
Do you see my screen?
Partially.
Partially.
Yes.
I don't know what has happened to my, but sorry about that. So that dialogue, in most cases, they tell you 6 responses from each person. So you have to take note of that, 6 responses. Do we have any other item to look at?
Yeah, they mentioned giving directions.
Giving directions. Okay. Giving the directions also depends on the question, but the most important thing is the language. The language is the most important. The physical, when we are giving directions, it is important that you note the following. First of all, the compass direction. Where are you going? You then the distance from one place to another. In a question, the distance according to what has been asked. So it has to be you must be in the know. Then the important features along the road. You must know the names of the places very well, so that the person you are directing does not get lost. Then you mention any landmarks noticeable along the route. The time one may spend moving from point A to point B. So when you're giving directions, make sure that you know all those things. Compass direction, the distance from one place to another, the important features along the road, and then you must know the names of the places very well, and you must mention the landmarks on that route. So, and then the time spent. Do you know that there are people who don't know how long it takes to reach their homes from the city? So if you're directing someone, what are you going to tell that person? What time are they likely to reach? What time are they going to spend on the road? Then we have expressions that can be used when giving directions. Words like turn left at a roundabout, turn right at crossroads. Those are the things that are going to make you get marks. Are we together?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Those things are going to, they are going to help us get marks. So that means that we must use them. Turn left at a roundabout, turn right at crossroads, fork left. Have you seen those roads that are like a fork?
Yes.
Yeah. So you tell someone that fork left, then the person will know that is going at the left side, or fork right. So there is that fork thing is like a Y. Those roads that are like a Y, those are the forks that we are talking about. So you can tell someone keep straight on or keep straight ahead. So that the person knows that he has to continue moving ahead. Then you can say, go a little further, or it is a little further on, or you can say on the left-hand side, or on the right-hand side. And you say towards or along, or you can use adjacent, or a few meters from, or you say opposite. Now, opposite what? Opposite the petrol station or opposite the gate of the school. Then you can say next to, it can be next to a big mango tree or next to the school gate, or you can say ahead of you or across the road. We expect those expressions so that you get marks for language. And remember, in functional writing, 8 is for format, 6 content, then 6 for language. So we expect you to use such expressions when you're giving directions. Are we together?
Yes, teacher.
Thank you so much. So anything about giving directions? Yes, Duke has put something in the chat. Any questions about giving directions?
Nope.
So you must know the important things to talk about. That is the most important. So which other functional writing?
Mikova is asking how you can give an announcement of someone going missing.
Someone who is what?
Who has gone missing?
Nicole, you put a heading. Do you listen to the radios?
Yeah, we do.
Then do you also watch TV?
We don't watch news. Yes.
But announcements are not in the news.
Yeah, in most cases, they can be there after the news in most cases.
When you're watching soaps.
Yeah.
That is now the problem. So you put a title line. Hello?
Hello.
Yes, madam.
Yeah, do you come back? I went off. My network. My network is poor. I want to thank you for your patience, for staying on. That really shows that you're ready to work and have the best. We are praying for you as holistic so that you do your best. So we had finished giving directions. What else do you want us to go through? We can look at one other functional skill and then we close. Duke?
Stella says a telephone conversation.
There's someone who wrote about a memo, by the way, I remember. Didn't we have a memo in the chat?
It's there, teacher.
It's there.
We know that when we are dealing with a memo, we are talking, this is written to the same organization. The same organization. So you have to write the word. You must have the title, a memorandum or a memo, and then you begin. What do we begin with? Can someone take us through a memo? When we are writing a memo, what do we begin with?
Yes, Eva.
Eva, I heard Duke tell you to take us through.
So when we are writing a memo, we consider the people they've told us to write to. If it's to the school, you begin with the heading of the school in capital letters. Then below it, if it's an internal memorandum, you write that word internal memorandum under the title of the place it's given to, then you underline. Then after there, we have 4 parts of it. The person who is giving it out, the people that person is giving it to, the date, and then the subject. So you write from, to, date, and subject. And then you write the corresponding answers there. And then after, you write a few words, and then you sign. And then you also write the position you hold in that.
Thank you so much. Anyone who has anything to comment about Eva's submission?
No.
Nicoba?
It was same, ma'am.
You write the name of the school in capital letters. Eva Junior School or Eva Secondary School in capital letters. Then below the name of the school, we write internal memo. Internal memo in capital letters also. Then we have to, from the margin you write to, from, date, subject. To is for those ones, the person you're writing to. Then maybe to, you write to, and then all prefix. Remember, there are also columns there as you write, but the columns must be in the same line. Make sure that the columns are in the same line. So to all prefects from the head prefect, then the dates, you put the dates when you have written that memo. Then the subject, what are you trying to communicate? What are you telling the students, the prefects? Maybe you would say theft in school or school uniform. So that will be the subject, school uniform. If you're calling them for a meeting and you're going to discuss. So the body should also start from the margin, do not paragraph. So you put, since the heading, the subject is school uniform, you're going to say what you want to say. Maybe you say it has been observed that students have stopped wearing their school uniforms. Or many students are abusing school uniforms and the prefects are not bothered. So you tell them maybe to stop, or you tell them to that effect, you'll have a meeting on such and such a date. It depends. And then after you sign and then put your name. I think we are done. Are we done? Any other question about a memo? Any other question about a memo? So we have looked at least some of the functional writing. I did not want to be specific on what to look at, but I know that we have looked at most of them. So today it was about functional writing. So next time, maybe we shall look at composition writing or any other aspect. But I want to thank you for attending the lesson. And so those ones who still want help, you can text me and I'll be able to help you and send you maybe work and what about those other functional skills that you want to know about. Can we have someone to lead us in prayer?
Excuse me, madam. Ivan wanted you, if you could quickly do a brief summary on the reports.
The problem is that the reports are many. Reports are many. We have an ordinary report, we have a simple report, we have an investigative report. So now which report? The reports are many. Maybe what we shall organize another meeting, a lesson on report writing, because reports are, so that we go through all the reports. That will be the best. We shall organize a meeting. I'll talk to teacher Steven and see how we can do it so that we can look at all the reports instead of going on very fast and briefly. We need that information. We need to be sure which report to write with what question. So we shall get time and we do that. So Williams, just keep online. Yeah, whichever day we get, I'll take you through the report.
Yeah, madam,
right?
but I'm leaving on
Yes,
Sunday.
You're leaving on
Sunday.
Okay, then I'll go to your inbox. Or you can inbox me and tell me which kind of report you want.
Auntie, the questions are not that direct.
Pardon?
The questions are not that direct. The questions about report. So if possible, can I get like all the
So
types?
now what you do, send me the question, then I will tell you which kind of report.
Okay.
Kindly send me the question, then I will answer that question for you. Then you'll know which kind of report.
Okay.
Okay. Let's have someone to have a closing prayer. Akram. I'm going to put my number on the group. Okay, my number is there. Those ones who wanted it, that is the WhatsApp number. Yes, Peaches. Peaches has gone up.
No, I'm still here. So, humble soul, Lord, Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for the gift of life. And we thank you that we have been able to attend this lesson. And I pray that we may be able to understand and recall whatever we are supposed to recall. And I pray that you may bless us, guide each and every one of us. For those going back to school, please bless us and guide us. And I pray that you may excel in whatever we do. And I pray that you may give each and every one of us the goals that we need in your name. I pray all of this in the name of Christ, yes, our Lord. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much. I wish you all the best. Those ones who are going back to
Amen.
school, may God be with you and may you perform
Thank
to
you, madam.
our expectations. We are praying for
Thank
you.
Hope
And
so. We
may
hope
God
so.
Amen.
So bye-bye.
Bye. Have a nice time,
Amen.
teacher. Bye, madam.
Bye.
Bye.